Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a technology that's pretty much revolutionizing AI behind the scenes. It's what's making it smarter, way more accurate, and honestly, incredibly useful. We are talking about the evolution of RAG.
So let's start with a question I think we've all asked ourselves at some point. You type something into an AI, and boom, you get this super detailed answer. But where does all that information actually come from? And why, sometimes, is it a little out of date, or maybe even just plain wrong?
Well, the answer lies in this really fascinating concept called retrieval augmented generation, or RAG for short. And this quote on the slide just nails it. RAG is like giving an AI a library card. It can do its own research on the fly, transforming it from a know-it-all into a brilliant researcher.
To really get why RAG is such a big deal, you first have to understand the core problem it's built to solve. Let's call it the AI knowledge problem. See, these AI models, they're trained on a fixed set of data. That means their knowledge is basically frozen in time, and it's limited only to what they've already seen. So, how does RAG fix this? Well, it's basically like giving an AI a real-time research assistant. Before it even tries to answer your question, the AI goes and searches through an external library. This could be your company's private documents or even the live internet. It finds the most relevant, up-to-date info, and then it uses that to build its answer. The very first, most fundamental version of this tech is what we call standard RAG. You can think of it as the blueprint, the thing that created a whole new standard for making AI systems more honest, verifiable, and actually up to date. It's a super simple but really powerful two-step process. First, you've got the retrieve step. That's where the system acts like a search engine to go find the right facts. Then you have the generate step, where the AI takes those facts and writes a coherent, context-aware answer. That simple loop, it dramatically improves everything. So what does this all mean in practice? It means AI becomes fundamentally more trustworthy. Because its answers are actually grounded in real source material, the accuracy just shoots up. And that tendency for AIs to hallucinate or, just make stuff up, it goes way, way down. Best part is, it can actually cite its sources, and you can update its entire knowledge base just by adding new documents to its library. This diagram here just lays it all out perfectly. On the left, you have what's called the document corpus. Just think of it as the library of information the AI can search. Then you have the retriever. That's the specialized search engine that finds the perfect piece of info. And finally, the generator is the part of the AI that takes that info and writes the final, human-readable answer. This simple setup is pretty much the starting point for almost any RAG project out there. But, standard RAG was really just the beginning. It was just getting started. Now we're seeing these advanced versions pop up. And each one has these incredible new capabilities that are turning AI from just a tool into a true intelligent partner. First up is agentic RAG. This is what transforms the AI from a passive tool that just waits for your questions into an active, autonomous partner that can actually get stuff done. Think of it like this. Standard RAG is like a librarian who waits for you to ask for a specific book. Agentic RAG, on the other hand, is like a dedicated research assistant. It understands your project's goal, it anticipates what you'll need next, gathers a bunch of different resources, and then puts the key insights together for you. It's a huge shift from being reactive to being proactive. What's so cool here is how all these features come together to create this proactive intelligence. As you can see, an agent can break down a big, complex task into smaller steps, decide on its own to use external tools like a calculator or a search API, and it can even self-correct if its first answer isn't quite good enough. It's not just answering questions anymore, it's genuinely problem-solving. Okay, next we have something called Graph RAG. This is a really profound shift. It's built on the idea that knowledge isn't just a big list of facts, but a complex web of interconnected relationships. And that right there is the key difference. Standard RAG is awesome at finding a specific fact inside a document, but Graph RAG is designed to understand the connections between all the different facts. It goes beyond simple retrieval and gets into genuine reasoning. So how does it do this? Well, it reads through all of the data and automatically builds this knowledge map. It identifies the key concepts and figures out how they all relate to each other. By seeing knowledge as this network of connected ideas, kind of like a social network for information, it can answer much more complex why and how questions, uncovering insights that would be totally hidden otherwise. And this ability is a total game changer for complex fields. I mean, think about a medical system that can connect a patient's symptoms to some rare disease by analyzing the relationships in medical journals, or a fraud detection system that spots weird patterns by looking at hidden connections between accounts. It's powerful stuff. Okay, finally, let's look at a type of RAG that gives AI one of its most human-like qualities: the power of continuity, the power of memory. This is what transforms our chats with AI from just a series of one-off questions into a single, ongoing conversation. The AI actually remembers what you talked about yesterday or maybe last week, and it brings that context into your current question, so you don't have to repeat yourself. It's basically building a relationship, not just processing a transaction. At the end of the day, this just makes talking to an AI feel way more natural and genuinely helpful. Instead of a generic tool, you get a personalized assistant that learns your preferences, adapts to your goals, and keeps a consistent personality. This is the tech that's going to power the next generation of personal tutors, expert coaches, and companion AIs. So, when you see all these incredible superpowers, agents that can act, graphs that can reason, memories that stick around, you gotta wonder, how does this all actually come together in the real world? Well, it turns out there's a pretty practical roadmap. The key really is to start simple. Get the basics right with a standard REG setup. From there, it's all about being strategic. Figure out what you actually need and then pick the right advanced feature for the job. Do you need reasoning? Look at GraphRag. Do you need autonomy? Agentic RAG is your friend. It's a step-by-step process, all built on a solid foundation. I mean, in just a few years, we've seen this technology go from a simple fact checker to an autonomous assistant that can reason about relationships and remember our personal history. It's a pretty remarkable journey. Which leaves us with one last thought. Now that AI has the ability to retrieve, reason, and remember, what's the next step in its evolution?